Alrighty, what's up, everybody? Yeah, I'm here to make this little video of mine. It pertains to Charlie Z's boxing legacy. Sorry. I'm sorry. Holy crap! Can't believe I said that. No, I wrote down a bunch of stuff because I have to at this point in my life, you know. I have to write things down, you know. You have to realize once you get to be well into your 40s, all you youngsters out there, you'll know where I'm coming from. But until then, yeah, let me just give the list of the various defeats, blemishes on Mr. Charlie Z's, boxing career. Well, okay, first opponent I put on my list was Andrew Hartley. Of course, that was his only official pro fight. So that's the first loss I put on my list. And then I put 12 more after him, right? Or 11 or 10 more or something. There's 13 losses altogether, including Hartley. But anyway, after Hartley, I put Floyd Sr., because, he made Zelenoff step out through the ropes, before the round was over. Zelenoff bailed out, stepped out of the ring, So that's a TKO, obviously. And before that happened, he was really running out of wind. He was getting really gassed out, against a 58-year-old former, he was a welterweight, 147 division, Floyd Mayweather Sr. And then after Floyd Sr., I put BoxRec guy. That's the third one. That footage is hard to find. It's very hard to find. But these are all opponents that I clearly recollect. So, there's no doubt about all of these. The BoxRec guy, he wore a BoxRec shirt, and it's hard to describe him. He was shorter than Zelenoff and no more than his weight division. And he was he was nailing Zelenoff with a lot of hooks. And Zelenoff at one point, he tried to, he threw his arms up in the air, I remember, claiming victory. And the guy was saying, keep working. He was saying, keep working. He was all, he was really into it. And he was rocking Zelenoff with nice hook punches. And so that was an obvious loss for Zelenoff, from what I seen of it. And then there's, you have to excuse me because I don't know the names of these guys, so I have to just give the best description that I can give, as far as right off the bat, because what's the point in fussing around trying to think of some fancy-dancy name for these guys? But anyway, the fourth loss I put was a more recent Zelenoff loss, which was against sloppy hook puncher Mexican guy. I don't know what else to put, because he's the one that was winging away, and he he made Zelenoff walk away. Zelenoff was doubled over, clinching his gut, and that was a TKO. And then they fought again. And it was stopped really short by Zelenoff because the dude slipped and fell, but he bounced right up, and he clearly wasn't hurt. But Zelenoff wanted to claim that as a win, of course, with his Zelaboxer rules, his self-appointing himself as a ref, you know. So yeah, fifth loss I put Emmanuel, and I don't know if people are very familiar with that one. They just fought one round, and I thought Emmanuel outlanded him, so I counted it as a loss for Zelenoff, and I guess it's a one-round decision loss. I guess Zelenoff can only do one round apparently. If he's lucky. I mean, because Emmanuel's a real kind of laid back kind of guy, so he's like totally like a counter puncher type. And I thought he outlanded Zelenoff though. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That was fifth loss, and then sixth loss I put Krav Maga guy because that's another one I thought he landed the better, more legitimate shots against Zelenoff. I mean, they landed maybe the same amount, but I thought Krav Maga guy landed the more impressive shots, so I count that as a loss, a one-round decision loss for Zelenoff. So that's 6 right there. Yeah, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, and then 7th I put, once again, I don't know the dude's name. I can only go by descriptive reference. I mean, visual descriptive reference. So I put, get ready to laugh at this one. Muscular, tank top, black guy with earring. Because he's the one that Zelenoff, at first the guy was left his earring in, and Zelenoff hit him, and then they had to stop to take it out. I guess because the dude forgot about it or something. Or, I don't know, maybe he just thought maybe he was just going to knock Zelenoff right out. Or I don't know what the deal is, But anyway, they resumed, and it was whatever, they resumed. And then they were boxing, and Zelenoff was getting ready to, you could tell he was getting ready, fixing to get him in a clinch and do that trademark Three Stooges thing he does to a lot of guys. He keeps bopping him over the head while he has him one-handed in a clinch, and he bops him, and he counts that as points. But in real pro boxing, he'd have points taken away right away. He'd get warned, get point deductions, and if he kept it up, he'd get disqualified. So anyway, in this match, the dude, with his obvious boxing skills, he winged out a nice pinpoint, accurate, effective right hook that caught Zelenoff really good, apparently, because I must have really stunned him, because Zelenoff didn't want to get hit anymore after that. He just like stood still with his head out saying basketball court. He kept repeating it. So in my book, that's a TKO loss. Saying I don't want to get hit anymore, You hurt me with that. So yeah, sorry, but that's a TKO loss. Clear as day. Okay then, so yeah, the video's about to end. I'll list one more, and then I'll make a part 2. Next one I put was Chris Cood, because that's another one that it's hard to find that fight, but I remember it really clearly. I mean, I remember Zelenoff. I think they fought like 3 separate matches, and I know in one of them, 2 of them probably, I guess they were draws, and then one of them, at least one of them, I clearly remember Zelenoff calling timeout. He had to walk away and catch his breath, so, he ran out of wind, and it was like within a minute. So, I mean, that was a clear TKO loss right there. So, yeah. All right, like I said, I got to end this and make a part 2 and name the rest of them. All right, stay tuned.